This is the 10th video in a series on the 33 Strategies of War by Robert Greene. War is a state of conflict between opposing nations, societies, or groups. A strategy is a plan of attack or a policy designed to achieve a major or overall aim within a conflict. This series is not intended to glorify the violence of war. Rather, the strategies and examples given will encompass all manner of human conflicts. Violence is always avoidable, but conflict within a human society is not. It is a natural part of our social evolution of ideas and a system of government. Strategy 10. Deterrence strategy. Create a threatening presence. Part 1. Intimidation. The best way to fight off aggressors is to keep them from attacking you in the first place. To accomplish this, you must create the impression of being more powerful than they are. Robert Greene. In the 1979 Francis Ford Coppola film, Apocalypse Now, a fictional depiction of Joseph Conrad's novella The Heart of Darkness, Captain Willard, played by Martin Sheen, convinces Lieutenant Kilgore to capture a Viet Cong-held coastal town.
Two places we can get into the river.
Yeah.
Here and here. It's a pretty wide delta, but these are the only two spots I'm really sure of.
Well, that village you're pointing at is kind of hairy, Willard.
Kilgore, leader of the 1st Squadron 9th Cavalry Regiment, employs several tactics aimed at striking fear into the hearts of his enemy.
Okay, we're going in.
We'll come in low out of the rising sun, and about a mile out we'll put on the music.
Music?
Yeah, use Wagner. It scares the hell out of the slopes. My boys love it.
Such as playing Wagner's Ride of the Valkyries over large speakers attached to his attack helicopters. Kilgore also drops a large amount of high explosive called napalm in the surrounding hillsides.
Big Duke 6. God damn it! I want the tree line bomb! Over to the Stone Age, son!
Down there. Roger, here we come. Good. Give it all you got and bring in all your ships. Wing abreast.
All this showboating is for naught, because Kilgore and his men know that they cannot hold the territory for very long. This is also why Kilgore leaves kill cards on the dead enemy combatants.
Isn't one worth a jack of the whole bunch?
Hey, Captain! What's that?
Yes, cards! Let Charlie know who did this!
So that when the enemy returns, they will know that it was Kilgore's unit that attacked and know that they are to be feared. In the 1970 fictional World War II action comedy, Kelly's Heroes, Private Kelly, played by Clint Eastwood, plans a daring mission to steal a storage of Nazi gold before Germany surrenders.
Let's get the hell out of here. Shoot him, we don't get the gold. What gold? The gold's in a bank 25 miles east of Nancy, that's what.
For the mission, he will need armored support, but he is wary not to involve too many troops, who would dilute the share of
I
profit.
want any friends or any friends of friends. I want to keep it a tight little unit, right, oddball?
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, no sweat, you know.
So he recruits Oddball, played by Donald Sutherland, an eccentric commander of a detachment of Sherman tanks.
I mean, like, don't let the dirt and the rust hang you up. We like to give the impression that we're just out of action, badly in need of a period of rest and reorganization. And that way nobody bugs us.
Who alters his tank's barrels to appear larger than normal in order to deter attacks. He also uses other alternate means of intimidation.
Like, you see, all the tanks we come up against are bigger and better than ours. So that all we can hope to do is, like, scare them away, you know? This gun is an ordinary 76 millimeter, but we add this piece of pipe onto it, and the Krauts think, like, maybe it's a 90 millimeter. We got our own ammunition. It's filled with paint. When we fire it, it makes a pretty picture. Scares the hell out of people. We got a loudspeaker here, and when we go into battle, we play music very loud.
Part 2. Deterrence through reputation. Build up a reputation. You're a little crazy. Fighting you is not worth it. You take your enemies with you when you lose. Create a reputation and make it credible, with a few impressively violent acts. Robert Greene. The 2006 film 300 features a highly stylized depiction of the Battle of Thermopylae in the Greco-Persian War. Editor's note: this film does feature some culturally inappropriate and ahistorical depictions of the Persians. The battle featured in the film is the first battle in the war and displays the clashing of two cultures, both of which intend to use their reputations as armor.
Xerxes conquers and controls everything he rests his eyes upon. He leads an army so massive, it shakes the ground with its march. All the god King Xerxes requires, offering of earth and water, a token of Sparta's submission.
The Persian messenger seeks to obtain the Spartan subjugation. To do this, he displays the skulls of conquered kings to the Spartan delegation. However, the Spartans, led by King Leonidas, played by Gerard Butler,
the Athenians have already turned you down.
Choose your next words carefully. They may be your last as king.
We must be diplomatic.
And of course, Spartans have their reputation to consider.
the city of Sparta in its day was known for having the most trained, loyal, and disciplined standing army of all the Greek city-states. Once, when asked why the city of Sparta has no defensive walls, Lycurgus of Sparta proclaimed, "That city is well fortified, which has a wall of men instead of bricks." Axilius, a Spartan king, also once remarked, "The walls of Sparta were its young men, and its borders the points of their spears." True to their reputation, the Spartans made an example of the messengers,
Bring the crowns and heads of conquered kings to my city-step.
sending a clear message that they intended to fight the invaders, and by Spartan law, they would neither retreat nor surrender. As depicted in the film by Leonidas' wife, Queen Gorga, played by Lena Headey, who repeats a well-known Spartan demand of their soldiers to her husband before he leaves for battle.
Combat with your shield. Or on it.
Yes, my lady.
Unable to lead the entire Spartan army to meet the invading force, King Leonidas instead brings his personal guard of 300 hoplite soldiers to join 7,000 Greeks from other city-states to check the Persian advance. Although the Spartans amassed the fewest soldiers, Leonidas commanded the army as he was the highest-ranked soldier on the field. The Persian king Xerxes, played by Rodrigo Santoro, ruled over the largest empire the world had ever seen and invaded Greece with the largest army that had ever been assembled at that time. The overwhelming force was designed to drive the Greeks off in fear, as well as demonstrate the historical success of the Persian Empire, having conquered so many other kingdoms. Persians also brought with them many beasts of war from all over their kingdom, animals that most Greeks had never heard of, let alone faced in battle. This show of force did little to displace the Greeks, that had taken a strong position that allowed their smaller force to limit the advance of the Persians off the beaches where they had landed. The Persians, however, eventually found a way to outflank the position. With the advantage of the smaller force gone, the non-Spartan Greeks retreated further into the country to join the rest of the now amassing army, while the Spartans stayed true to their laws.
There is no glory to be had now. Only retreat or surrender or death. Well, that's an easy choice for us. Spartans never retreat. Spartans never surrender.
Refusing to retreat or surrender. These laws offered no tactical practicality, other than a demonstration of resolve meant to deter enemies from further attacking Spartan forces in battle. In ancient warfare, the goal of an army is often to drive the other into flight, so that they may capture the field of battle and easily conquer the rest of the territory. If the soldiers are disciplined enough, however, to show that they will not retreat or surrender, even in the face of certain death, the attacking army must then match that same resolve, or retreat themselves. The last stand of the Spartans at Thermopylae is as much a legend and a myth than it is true history. But if one were to travel to the location of the Battle of Thermopylae today, they would find a laconic poem dedicated to those who fought and died there 2,500 years ago. Go tell the Spartans, stranger passing by, obedient to their laws, we lie. Part 3. Deterrence through Chaos. Uncertainty is sometimes better than an overt threat. If your opponents are never sure what messing with you will cost, they will not want to find out. Play on people's natural fears and anxieties to make them think twice. Robert Greene. In the 1988 film Bull Durham, Tim Robbins plays Nuke LaLoosh, a newly hired up-and-coming Major League pitcher for the Durham Bulls.
Had a gun on him tonight. Last 5 pitches he threw were faster than the first 5. He's got the best young arm I've seen in 30 years. You've been around. You're smart. You're professional. We want you to mature the kid.
His mentor and catcher, Crash Davis, played by Kevin Costner, reluctantly takes the talented but undisciplined pitcher under his wing to teach him how to maximize his talents.
Taking me off, huh?
I want to bring the heater to announce my presence with authority.
To announce your what?
Announce my presence with authority.
First ball, fastball hitter. He's looking for heat.
Oh, yeah? So what? He ain't seen my heat.
He teaches Nuke that talent alone can only get him so far in the game. In game theory, just like warfare, you also need to employ deception, intimidation, and a little chaos as your ally. This is why Crash advises the usually spot-on pitcher.
I'm cruising, man.
I want you to throw the next one at the mascot.
Why? I'm finally throwing it where I want to throw it.
Just throw it at the bull, huh? Trust me.
Crash knows the opponents, having seen Nuke's fastball, were aware of his power.
This guy's crazy.
Yep. I wouldn't dig in there if I was you. Next one might be at your head. I don't know where it's gonna go. I swear to God.
But he also knows that that knowledge, combined with a little uncertainty of Nuke's precision, would lead to doubt and fear. This uncertainty leads to caution on the part of the batter, who becomes gun-shy of being hit by one of the fastballs. The reversal.
I didn't miss him!
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Jackie still hasn't got the plate!
All strategies have their drawbacks, their flaws, their undefended flanks and exposed sides, and this strategy is not suitable for every situation. The purpose of this strategy is to deter aggressive enemies, but being the toughest kid on the block can also rally your enemies to conspire against you, just to see you fall, just to expose you as weak. Sometimes acting meek or foolish will serve your purposes just the same.
Hi, man.
What are you doing?
I'm drinking wine and eating cheese and catching some rays, you know.
This has been a production of Minimum Effort Media. Please like, subscribe, and comment if you care to. If you would like to own a copy of the 33 Strategies of War, please do so using the link in the description below. I also like to give away a copy of the book with every video I release. All you have to do to enter this little giveaway is be a subscriber with notifications turned on, like this video, and leave a comment down below. On my next video on 33 Strategies of War, I will select one of the comments at random and post it here. And the winner from the last video is on screen right now. Please reach out to me at The Lazy Stoic across all social media so I can get your contact information. And thank you for watching.